Every single night, while you are sleeping soundly in your bed, hugging your favorite pillow, drooling on your mattress, and dreaming about winning a multi-million-dollar lottery, giant metallic dish antennas all over planet Earth are quietly staring into the infinite black void of deep space. They are listening. They are scanning the cold cosmic background radiation, listening to the static white noise of dying stars, and tracking the eerie electromagnetic waves pulsing from swirling galaxies billions of light-years away. Most of the time, the universe sounds like absolute, total silence mixed with soft, boring radio static. It is peaceful, completely predictable, and usually utterly uninteresting. But every once in a while, something hidden out there in the dark depths of the cosmos makes a sound. A sound so bizarre, so powerful, and so terrifyingly structured that it makes hard-working, underpaid scientists drop their hot cups of coffee, freeze in total existential terror, and wonder if humanity is about to be visited by an armada of very angry extraterrestrials. Today, we are going to look at the creepiest, most mind-boggling, and completely unexplainable cosmic signals ever intercepted by human technology. Signals that were so intense, so weird, and so unnervingly precise that they left top astrophysicists scratching their heads and muttering quietly about potential alien civilizations trying to leave us a cosmic voicemail. Our journey into cosmic horror begins on a warm, quiet summer night on August 15, 1977. At the Big Ear radio telescope at Ohio State University, a young astronomer named Jerry Eman was sitting at his cluttered desk going over thick stacks of computer printouts collected by the giant antenna over the past few days. Back then, astronomers did not have slick, colorful computer monitors with fancy, high-resolution graphics like we do today. They literally had huge, heavy stacks of continuous tractor-feed paper covered in long, mind-numbing rows of numbers and letters generated by an automated matrix printer. Page after page was filled with endless ones, twos, and threes. These low numbers represented the normal, boring, everyday natural radio noise of our Milky Way galaxy. Just hydrogen gas bumping around in space doing absolutely nothing. But at exactly 10:16 p.m., as Jerry casually flipped to page 33, his heart stopped, his blood ran cold, and his eyes practically popped out of his skull. Embedded right in the middle of the routine cosmic background chatter was a 6-character sequence that looked like a literal glitch in the fabric of reality. 6 E U Q J 5. This was not normal radio noise. Not even close. The Big Ear telescope had just picked up an extraordinarily intense beam of radio energy at a frequency of 1420 megahertz. Now, to understand why this specific detail made scientists nearly wet their pants with excitement, you need to understand a quick lesson in basic atomic physics. 1420 megahertz is the exact, fundamental, natural broadcasting frequency of neutral hydrogen, the most common and abundant element in the entire universe. Decades before this discovery, brilliant physicists like Carl Sagan had theorized that if an intelligent alien species wanted to send a galactic distress signal, a universal greeting or a planetary broadcast across interstellar space, they would logically choose the 1420 megahertz hydrogen frequency. Why? Because every advanced spacefaring civilization in the cosmos would naturally be monitoring that exact frequency to map out the galaxy. It was literally considered the universal cosmic calling channel. The signal Jerry was staring at was 36 times stronger than the normal background noise of deep space. It was not a broad, messy noise like a solar flare. It was a razor-sharp, highly focused, narrow-band transmission. Even creepier, the signal lasted for exactly 72 seconds. Why 72 seconds, you ask? Because the Big Ear telescope was a massive, fixed-dish antenna that could not be steered. It relied on the physical rotation of the Earth to sweep across the sky. Due to the design of the telescope's focus beam, it took exactly 72 seconds for a single stationary point in deep space to pass through the telescope's field of view. The signal gradually rose in intensity as the Earth turned the telescope directly toward it, peaked at an insane volume, and then smoothly faded away as the planet rotated past. It was textbook. It was clean. It behaved exactly like a focused interstellar laser beam, sweeping past our planet like a giant cosmic lighthouse in the dark. Jerry Eman was so utterly stunned, so shocked, and so completely overwhelmed by what he was looking at on that piece of paper, that he grabbed a red pen, circled the mysterious code, and scribbled a single iconic word in the margin. Wow. And just like that, the most famous potential extraterrestrial transmission in human history received its permanent name, the WOW signal. Naturally, the moment Jerry reported his discovery, the international astronomical community went into absolute, total chaos. Emergency phone calls were made in the middle of the night. Teams of elite astronomers across the globe scrambled to point the world's largest, most powerful radio dishes back at that exact same spot in the constellation Sagittarius. They held their breath, tuned their receivers, and waited for the alien broadcast to resume. They waited for days, then weeks, then months, then long, grueling years. But nothing happened. The signal never repeated. It was a single, terrifying whisper coming from the dark void, lasting 72 seconds, and then vanishing into complete, deafening radio silence, forever. For nearly 40 long years, the WOW signal stood as the absolute, undisputed king of cosmic mysteries. Skeptics, cynics, and desperate debunkers tried to explain it away, using every single boring idea they could possibly throw at the wall. Was it a top-secret military satellite passing overhead? No, because military satellites do not broadcast on the internationally protected 1420 MHz frequency, and their orbits would have caused the signal to move across the sky much faster. Was it a terrestrial radio broadcast bouncing off a piece of space junk orbiting Earth? Impossible, because a bouncing radio signal would have shown multiple frequency reflections, whereas the WOW signal was pristine and perfectly stable. A few years ago, a team of researchers made massive headlines by claiming that a pair of passing comets carrying massive hydrogen clouds might have caused the signal. But the broader astronomical community quickly tore that theory to shreds, pointing out that comets move far too slowly and produce diffuse, widespread emissions that could never generate a signal that focused, short, or insanely powerful. To this very day, the WOW signal remains completely, utterly unexplained. It could have been a military defense radar from an advanced alien world sweeping across our sector of the Milky Way, a cosmic distress beacon sent by a doomed extraterrestrial civilization whose star was collapsing into a supernova, or simply an interstellar scout ship zooming past our solar system, broadcasting a 72-second high-speed data dump before vanishing into the cold void forever. But if you think a mysterious, ghostly whisper from 1977 is creepy, wait until you hear about what modern astronomers stumbled upon in 2007. While digging through years of archived radio telescope data from the Parkes Observatory in Australia, a young researcher named Duncan Lorimer found something that made his jaw hit the floor. He discovered a mind-bendingly intense, ultra-fast burst of radio energy that lasted for just 5 milliseconds. 5 milliseconds. That is literally faster than a human blink. If you sneezed, you would miss it entirely. But here is the terrifying part. In that tiny fraction of a single second, this mystery signal released as much energy as our sun produces in 3 entire days. Think about the sheer physics of that for a second. Our sun is a giant nuclear furnace that burns through millions of tons of hydrogen every second. To unleash 3 full days of solar energy in 0.005 of a second requires a force so violent and powerful that human physics practically breaks down trying to calculate it. Scientists named these terrifying phenomena fast radio bursts, or FRBs. At first, the scientific community tried to play it cool. They assumed it was just a strange, one-time anomaly, a mechanical glitch in the telescope's hardware, or perhaps the final catastrophic death rattle of a distant neutron star collapsing into a supermassive black hole. But then, as radio telescopes around the world started to upgrade their software, they kept finding more of them, hundreds of them, thousands of them, firing continuously from every single corner of the observable universe, like invisible, energetic cosmic gunshots in the dark. The real, genuine existential panic started in 2016, when researchers discovered a signal known as FRB 121116. You see, up until that point, every fast radio burst ever detected was a single, lonely explosion. It would fire once, destroy whatever produced it, and die forever. But FRB 121116 was different. It was repeating. And not just repeating randomly like a flickering light bulb. It was operating on a strict, terrifying mathematical schedule. Every 16 days, like a cosmic clockwork mechanism, the signal would wake up. For 4 straight days, it would blast intense, high-energy radio bursts towards Earth. Then, exactly on the dot, it would go completely silent for 12 days. After 12 days of dead silence, it would wake up again. 4 days of blasting radio waves. 12 days of eerie silence. Over and over and over again, without a single second of deviation. Think about how horrifying that realization is. Natural cosmic events like exploding stars, spinning pulsars, or colliding black holes are messy, chaotic, and volatile. Nature does not use an alarm clock. Nature does not set a precise 16-day calendar. When you hear a periodic, highly structured, energy-focused pulse screaming across billions of light years on a strict schedule, there are only 2 logical conclusions left on the table. Either we are observing a completely unknown, bizarre new law of astrophysics that defies everything we know about the universe, or, somewhere out there in deep space, an ultra-advanced alien civilization built a massive, planet-sized power transmitter that is running on an automated power cycle. And if you think a signal coming from billions of light years away is unsettling, wait until you hear about the transmission that was picked up right inside our own backyard. In late 2019, scientists monitoring our absolute closest stellar neighbor, Proxima Centauri, picked up a deep space signal that almost caused a widespread, full-blown diplomatic panic behind closed doors. To understand why this discovery made top astrophysicists break out into a cold sweat, you have to look at a map of our local neighborhood. Proxima Centauri is a small red dwarf star located just 4.2 light-years away from Earth. In the vast, sprawling scale of the cosmic void, 4 light-years is not far away. That is not across the galaxy. That is literally right next door. It is our cosmic neighbor right across the fence. Even more intriguing, we already know that Proxima Centauri has a rocky, Earth-sized planet orbiting inside its habitable zone, known as Proxima Centauri b. A planet that could theoretically hold liquid water, an atmosphere, and biological life. While analyzing high-resolution observational data gathered by the iconic Parkes Observatory in Australia, automated signal tracking algorithms flagged a razor-sharp, narrow-band radio transmission coming directly from the direction of Proxima Centauri. The researchers officially designated this mystery signal as Breakthrough Listen Candidate 1, or BLC-1. What made BLC-1 so utterly terrifying to the scientific team was its extreme, unmistakable, artificial purity. You see, natural emissions created by stars, gas clouds, and magnetars spread out over a wide range of frequencies, like dropping 100 heavy rocks on a piano keyboard at the exact same time. BLC-1 was completely different. It was squeezed into a razor-thin single-frequency band around 982 megahertz. That specific signature is identical to how human engineering works. It is how our mobile phone towers, satellite uplinks, and military radar systems transmit data across distances. But the weirdness did not stop there. As scientists tracked BLC-1 over the course of several hours, the frequency of the signal began to slowly, continuously shift upward. This was not a random fluctuation. It was a textbook manifestation of the Doppler effect, the exact mathematical shift you would expect if a transmitter was located on the surface of a moving, rotating planet or mounted on a spacecraft orbiting another star. For several extremely tense months, top-secret emergency meetings were held among international scientific bodies. Teams of specialized researchers worked in total secrecy, running every diagnostic test imaginable to verify if humanity had just received its first real, definitive contact from an interstellar neighbor. After nearly 2 long years of painstaking, intense investigation, researchers eventually concluded that BLC-1 was most likely a ridiculously complex, bizarre form of terrestrial radio interference, a strange combination of two failing ground-based electronic devices on Earth that somehow mixed together to perfectly mimic a deep space alien signal. But the fact that it took the world's top astrophysicists 2 entire years of intense supercomputer processing just to rule out an extraterrestrial origin shows you just how shockingly plausible it was. It proved that we are standing right on the razor edge of discovering that someone else is out there. Whether it is the ghost of the WOW signal screaming across time, repeating fast radio bursts pulsing on a strict mathematical schedule, or strange whispers coming from our nearest neighboring stars, one thing has become terrifyingly clear. The universe is not a quiet, peaceful, empty void. It is alive with electromagnetic energy. Signals are traveling through space every second of every day. Some are the natural dying screams of exploding stars. Others are strange mathematical anomalies that break our current understanding of physics. And a few remain completely unexplained mysteries that keep astronomers awake at night. So tonight, when you go outside, step onto your porch, look up at the dark, starry night sky, and listen to the cool wind. Remember this eerie thought. Space is not quiet. Space is constantly screaming. We just need to build better ears to figure out who is doing the talking, and hope that whoever is speaking is friendly. If you love creepy cosmic mysteries, dark space humor, and simple Stickman animations, smash that like button, hit subscribe to Cosmic Clueless, and drop a comment telling me which cosmic signal gave you the biggest chills. Stay curious, stay paranoid, and keep looking up, human.